if you don't want the children to be going at the neighbor's house, what do? You bring that which takes them to the neighbor's house. You bring it at home. And you will no longer see them going out, because now they have that which takes them out will now keep them indoors. Because you have solved their problem. You have given them an opportunity that they longed for, that makes them go to the neighbor's house. All right, so very soon we'll try again and see if we can get Kanjengo. But before we do that, if you want to be part of the conversation, the number in studio is 0832-888-401. That's the number through which you can come and let's have a conversation. You are very quiet today. Maybe you are wondering, what is this guy looking for at this hour? It's not his hour. Of course, it's not my hour, but every hour is mine here. So maybe you are agitated by the voice that is unusual. Of course, it happens until you get used to this voice. But very soon, a good voice and a better voice will be on this show, and I'm sure you would love to be participant in that program. But till then, you have to get used to my voice. Now, the issue of opportunity is a key center point in the reason why there is massive or mass exodus, for African young population into Europe or other parts of Namibia, other parts of the world, in search of opportunities, in search of better jobs, and so forth. Better education, and most Africans get education abroad, and they get jobs there, and they are afraid of coming back here because they know that some of them, when they come back, they know they might not get that opportunity. They are leaving the other side. Yes.
So it means that South Africa has handled the issue of migration, which is called migration crisis, well than what Spain and other countries are handling them, isn't it? And our Honorable Minister, Doctor of Gender, is because I always find difficult to pronounce her name, Kanenka.
Emma Kantema.
Emma Kantema.
Yes.
So she's lucky that she came during when my era was ending. And the gender issue, and she has...
which era was ending? Are you retired now? What?
Yeah, I think I'm no longer... We want to give them an opportunity. And I know they are well-equipped development planners who are there, and scientists who can draft up policies.
You did not answer my question. The question was yes or no. Are you retired or not?
So I've given them space. I've retired from there.
Yeah.
But my space is still there. So in terms of policy formulation and other issues. But what I'm saying is that I just want to agree correctly with her, and also pose a question, not a question actually, just maybe a contribution or appreciation that the way South Africa has handled it. So, but it's not that they violated some, this individually. Yes, it's been the time to go to school. Can you go to school, Rami?
Uncle Bana?
So, yes. children. Can you imagine your children going to school this time in the community? And where are the parents? Where are the stakeholders? Where is the leaders? So I think we need to handle that thing because there should be nobody, no child who should be excluded from attending the school. It's our responsibility. Yesterday I was talking to rural learners, and we need to make sure that that issue of migration is handled properly, not the way they handle it in Europe or wherever, where people are dying now from drowning from the seas and things like that. Of course, the opportunity to handle our people so that they remain in our country, just like what you said already, that yes, let's feed our people. Those drain, or whatever you call it, it's not supposed to be happening.
All right.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
All right. So let's try again and see if we can get Kanjengo, if we can get him on board. We want to understand the aggregate FI 26. FI 2026. That is a new term for me. I've never heard it before. But it's an economic term. It's an economics term. It's a term used in economics. It's a combination of total. It's a combination of, compiled data. So let's get the person, but let's go for a short break. Let's go for a short break. Okay, I'm checking there's no one on the line. So we can go on the short break and then we can return with to see if we can get Kanjengo on board.
My friend, why do you seem so worried?
Ace, I'm planning an event for next weekend, and I don't know how to best get people to hear about it.
Saima, don't worry about those small things. Contact Eagle FM today. Eagle FM has a dedicated team that can travel anywhere countrywide to broadcast live at any event, such as a promotion, organizational launch, anniversary, wedding, funeral, political or traditional and church events, and basically any event that you wish to broadcast on a national level. Call them now and talk to Monica at 081-270-3727 or the office number 083-2888-400. Eagle FM, the eye.
All right. We continue. It is 23 minutes past the hour of 23 minutes past the hour of 8. And we continue. We still have something to talk about. We still have some points to take also from the speech of the president at the Masubia festival, the cultural celebration that took place this week, last week. So, and we'll talk about it because it's every year culture is celebrated. Traditional authorities, each traditional authority organizes a day. They celebrate their culture. Is that enough? And we look at the economic benefit of such festivals. So every year. We have Umagongose Festival, Olufuko, festival. We have different commemorations, different cultural commemorations. And at these cultural commemorations, we also have entrepreneurial, presence. People come to sell and showcase talents. Some are musicians that benefit from that. And we will look at the economic benefit of all those, celebrations. And before we bring our guest on board, if you want to be part of the conversation, then the 0832888401, that's the number in studio. We have started from 6 o'clock, and some of you that are joining been talking about the circle and the cycle, the difference between the circle and the cycle. And we said that the circle has to do with physical boundaries, physical limitations. But the cycle has to do with mental barriers. And in which category are you? Are you in the cycle of poverty or in the circle of poverty? Which category are you in, or none of the above? So is it none of the above? Are you in none of the above? Are you in the circle or cycle of poverty? And I told you, for those that were not, for just listening, our first story, we're looking at four dangerous levels. We're looking at, expectation, anticipation, dependency, and then entitlement. Those are 4 chains that are binding Africans and preventing them from standing on their own. The anticipation, expectation, the dependency, and then entitlement. 4 levels of chains, 4 levels of bondage that are preventing Africa from being herself. All right. So, and I don't want to get to the speech of the president yet. I just want to scratch the surface. And I just want you to ask yourself a question. Is Omagongo Festival enough to promote Omagongo, for example? I'm just talking about cultural celebration in general.
Limonene akulolo internet yendelela toitulirwa moshari. Ove tokupifana tango shimalwa shifike $1 Namibia maveri avari na mathele atano. Okujame fikula tetela Aguste fioma mafiketo 30 Septemba. Itoka pulo ufuto shimalwa shonumba okutulirwa mwe akulolo engenge oelishangiva kontrakta keshe yo Pirates Fiber ile Skyfi. Ototulirwa mwe akulo lipelo internet. Kupifa fio $1 Namibia maveri avari na mathele atano. Omeumbo ilo mongeshefa eakulo only nongushu. Talela po pirates.africa/Namibia. Nde toli shangifanena.
Always prepared. Pirates.
My friend, why do you seem so worried?
Ace, I'm planning an event for next weekend, and I don't know how to best get people to hear about it.
Saima, don't worry about those small things. Contact Eagle FM today. Eagle FM has a dedicated team that can travel anywhere countrywide to broadcast live at any event, such as a promotion, organizational launch, anniversary, wedding, funeral, political or traditional and church events, and basically any event that you wish to broadcast on a national level. Call them now and talk to Monica at 081-270-3727 or the office number 083-288-400. Eagle FM, the eye.
No matter where you are, if you have a mobile device, You can tune into Namibia's #1 talk radio station by downloading the Eagle FM app on the Google Play Store or on the Apple App Store. Download the Eagle FM app to tune into live Eagle FM programming or to listen to podcasts of previous broadcasts. Eagle FM, Namibia's #1 talk radio station.
All right, so I said I don't want to get to the speech yet, but just ask yourself a question. That is celebrating culture in one day, just like the Masubia Cultural Festival, the celebration of the Masubia, Day of Heritage Day, or celebrating Magongo, for example, festival. Is that enough in promoting culture or cultural diversity? Let alone promoting traditional products or indigenous products. Is that really enough? Of course, we know that economically it is beneficial to some people that will gain $1 or $2 from it. For example, people in the transport sector, people in the, hospitality industry, people in the music industry, certain people in the music industry, people that are doing catering and decoration, event organizers, entrepreneurs of different types, different, kinds of entrepreneurs coming together. So people will come there and they will spend. And, certain companies will make money. For example, if people are coming to, like the people that went to Zambezi, the Prime Minister, the Speaker of the National Assembly was there, the Minister of Urban and Rural Development was there, the President was there, and a lot of, government officials were there, and a lot of people from other countries were there, like representative of traditional authorities in Zambia and in Botswana. They were also there, and others were there. So putting all that together is an economy, because where the president is, everyone is there, and the president, maybe might have come the previous day, or so that he gets accommodated at the local hotel or somewhere. So it's money coming into the regional economy. So the local economy benefits from those events. But are they enough to promote cultural diversity? Because according to UNESCO, cultural diversities, and even in fact culture is also an economy, according to UNESCO. And in NDP 6, culture and tradition and the indigenous knowledge and capabilities are listed in NDP 6 as areas where the government will need to make some economic enhancement to capacitate these areas so that they become economies, they become source of income, or they become sources of income to people that are involved in these areas. So no doubt every festival taking place in Namibia brings something to the coffers, either of Namibia as a government or Namibia as a country. No doubt about that one. So it's 26 minutes to 9, and we are together. I will be stingy a little bit because you are also stingy with your voices. I'm also going to be stingy, but I'm going to give you what I promised to give to you. I'm going to bring in Kanjango. He was just getting himself ready. He was just, getting to a better place where he can talk. So, and I will be bringing him in very soon. That's my promise. And of course, from there, we might go into the, we might get into the program at the end of the program, and then by 9, I will hand over the mic to Kuthamasha that is coming to you through the Northern Studio. Let me try again and see if I can get the man himself on. Let me try and see if I can get the man himself online, and then we take it from there. So you need to be glued on radio, because we have good things for you this side. Omahalelo mawa
alishondale kupikina ukamatiko kapofi
omapandulo
aya natupandule nyepangiro ako tuli tupochikukuta
eindula kuja mashiwana
otapindile epangelo lyetu lituyambirire aakwashigwana yokembashu omvula shitayiya paife oombashu dhetu ohadhi kala dhili kohi yomeya nohatu kala tuli muudhigu unene.
omayele kopalifi
omilamba nadifuvila mowenduka tazozo adede embuti
omatilifo
todhengwa ngaa kantu esiku limwe kamatingweko kaposi.
Eagle FM, the eye.
All right, like I said, we are joined by Kanjengo Kamkwanyoka. He has a lot of names this time. I didn't know that he was Nino Meno Hangala. I don't know where he got that name.
I'm just going back to my roots.
Okay. Very good. So, you wrote a story that Namibia is going to borrow in-house 27.1 billion, and then, of course, 1.9 billion borrowed from outside. Can you take us through what that means? Is there any economic benefit from this?
Yeah. Look, we almost every financial year, the government decide or plan its expenditure for the year, how much they are going to spend. Now, they plan depending on the revenue that they estimate that they can collect. Now, if they plan that they're going to spend, like, let's say 90 billion, and they do not manage to collect enough from the revenue authority, then there are two options, or a couple of options. But the main one being to borrow. Now, they have two options, either to borrow domestically or to borrow outside, wherever they can find cheap capital. So, according to their now borrowing plan, they wanted actually to borrow around, let's say around 30 billion or 27 billion. Now, that was now divided between two, that a bigger portion of it, it was supposed to be borrowed inside, that's around 20 billion. But however now, then the around 80 billion of it is supposed to be borrowed outside. So now, government, together with the Bank of Namibia, now have to plan that, okay, where can they find cheaper capital? That is always the question. Where can they find cheaper capital? And that is how now why they decide, or they have a borrowing plan that is dictated or guided by where can they find cheaper capital. So in this particular case, there is a principle of the policy that they have that at least 80% of their borrowing plan, or of what they borrow, should be borrowed inside. And that principle, or that provision, is just to make sure that they hedge. There is a word they use, hedging, to say that they protected themselves, protect the government from currency fluctuation or exchange rate fluctuation. Because if you go borrow outside, it means you are going to borrow in either US dollars or euro. So now when you're going to pay back, if you borrow on euros today, the exchange rate is probably $18 per euro. But if you go and pay back tomorrow, the exchange rate might even be at $20. So that difference, again, it exposes you. And that's why the government has a provision that 80%, almost 80% of their debt should be borrowed inside. So now, they did an assessment these days that, okay, even though we have decided that we are going to borrow around 80 billion outside and 20 billion inside, we have assessed, and it seems like there is so much money inside the economy, we are no more going to borrow that 7 billion from outside, but we are going to borrow it from inside. So they did an assessment, and there's a lot of liquidity inside, apparently, even though all of us are broke or people are broke, apparently, there is so much money in the economy. So that is now why they decided that they are no more going to borrow that 7 billion from outside, but they are going to take it from inside. Yeah.
Okay. Is that so? That is what you mean by cheaper capital. Is it? Does it implicate that it's cheaper capital in terms of interest?
Yeah, it's in terms of interest. It's just about the conditions. And in this particular case, they do not want to be exposed to anything else apart from the cost itself. Because when you're going to borrow outside, there is so much that you have to do to get that money. Either you go to IMF or you go to African Development Bank or wherever. It just involves a lot of procedures. But inside, they just hold an auction at the Bank of Namibia and they get the money. So and that is actually the only benefit. It's just that the process to go through to get that capital, it's actually quite also costly. But inside, borrowing inside, number one, no currency exchange, and the cost also and the planning that you need to do. So the benefit is just literally that. It's just that you are not exposed to anything else, especially in terms of currency fluctuation and the planning that you have to do and the compliance that you have to go through. So that is literally it. But there is no really much difference borrowing outside or borrowing inside. It's only that outside, there is so much that you have to do, or there is so much that you have to comply with compared to inside. And again, one of the main things is that you do not want to be exposed to exchange rate risk. You are trying to avoid it by all means. And again, you do not also, when you're going to pay back, you do not want to give money away. You rather keep it inside. So that is the only benefit, that you are developing your own capital market, you are developing your own market, you're keeping your money inside. Yeah, at least you're borrowing from your people, and even you're going to pay interest, you're paying interest to your people. Yeah.
Okay, before I let you go, the Kasi Vibe that just finished, completed yesterday, it was done at Brakwater Recreational Center. Now, looking at Kasi Vibe and what it intends to achieve, and also versus the place or venue in which it was, celebrated or in which it took place, was this economically? Was it an economic decision, or it was an inclusive decision? How do you assess it?
Look, in terms of planning and in terms of the idea is very good, and it's good to see young people planning things to such an extent. If you look at the people involved, it's a lot of young people. So you can see that the young people have the audacity to do great things, and they just need support. Yes, looking at the arrangement, and also the cost of going there. Look, the success of everything is all about mobility, and you have to understand your clientele. And the most people who chill are young people. And now I have to decide, the money that I have, must I put it in transport, or can I use it now to spend? So the whole planning and the whole idea is good. It's just the distance and also the client base. Most of the people who go to Kasivai are young people, and most of them they do not have cars. So it's all about mobility. It's all about how close it is. It's all about how safe it is after I'm done to go home. Even though the place outside was really, really beautiful, the only issue, it was just the distance. It's just a distance. But I think they did well. It was still a success. I'm proud of them. But it's just that in Namibia, the young people who go to this type of event, not all of them have vehicles. And that distance that after I have chilled or after I've taken whatever I've taken, now I have to go home. So that is just a bit of risk when it comes to the Namibian context and the transportation available. That is just a little issue, but overall, the idea is good. The space there is beautiful. It's just the distance a bit, and also the type of people who go to those type of events, considering that after that they have to go home. And city police will be in the way also checking that did you drink or you didn't drink. So that is just a bit of risky, which needed to be considered. But overall, I think it was still a success. It was still a good idea.
All right. So, lastly, if the president is saying, Kasivai is a proof that young people don't lack talent; they lack opportunity and platform and stage. Now, for young, is Kasivai enough that takes place once a year? Is it enough for young people as far as opportunity and platform is concerned? Or what else do we need to do to expose a young person to an opportunity?
Look, I'm telling you, young people are crazy enough to do a lot of things. It's just that we are in such a very controlled environment. If they can free us in terms of enabling us to access more capital, enabling us to have access to certain equipment and to certain things, we do not even need their bailout. We don't, because young people are willing to do things. I'm telling you, if you sit down with us, every young person is an idea that they want to do something. And it's just that we're in an environment where the things that we need to use, so the tools and the capital, are not available. And I think there is also a lack of or inadequate understanding of how we think and what we want. Not everybody wants to go into farming. And not everybody wants to become all these traditional way of doing things. Look, there is the platform economy now. Some of us are online. Some of us are doing Forex. Some of us are, there is so much things that young people want to do, and it's not in the traditional way. And that is actually where the misunderstanding is, because everybody is forcing us to go do whatever used to be done back then. But the economy is offering different opportunities that we want to explore. All we need is just actually to be supported and to be understood. Then we can do our own things.
All right, Kanjengo, I wish to keep you here, but let me release you so that you can be busy with your others. But thank you very much for your time, and wishing you a great day ahead.
All right, thank you for having me.
Right. All right, that was Kanjengo, and he's saying, look, the young people are trying. They want to try other things, but they lack opportunity because elders want to control what young people should do and what they should not do. So some other young people are into gaming, for example. And elders, we don't understand that gaming is becoming an economy of its own. And because we don't understand what gaming is, we are controlling young people and we are telling them to go and farm. Somebody who is a gamer cannot be a farmer. So, and we miss the mark. And then we are stuck because young people don't want to do what we want them to do because that's not their area of expertise. And then we are forcing them, but it's not their area of expertise. At the end of the day, we lose them because then they are stuck. they will say, well, if it is either gaming or nothing, it's forex trading or nothing. So, and then we are stuck because we don't understand them. So I think we need to free the young people, free them so that they can do what they are good at. You know, they can do what they are best at. 0832888401. That is a number. In studio, I can give you the remaining 10 minutes if you want to be part of the conversation. Is there anything that you want to, talk about? We've spoken a lot of things. I think we are almost done with our stories. We are almost done with our stories. So, and I want to end with, I thought I was wrong. I was doubting myself in my analysis to say that Kasi Vibe is good, but the location was a bit problematic because somebody will choose between spending and taxi or transport. So if there's somebody at the hand, has a car 200 or 300, that person should, maybe they can take a $30, 15 to go, 15 to come back, and then they still have like a 270 that they can spend at least maybe a piece of meat, a cool drink, and maybe a piece of meat and some, and then they got beer, those who drink. Yeah. So, but then if the place is outside, in the outskirts, it's where mobility is challenging, then it becomes a problem. And the numbers play a significant role, when it comes to selling. How many people can buy is very important. How many people can attend is very important. So that was my analysis, and Kanjengo tends to agree with that. I didn't tell him it was what I said earlier, but yeah. So I think Kasi Vibe needs to consider the place, the location, because young people are the ones that are chilling, not that much of adults. Adults don't chill. When it comes to chilling, we talk about young people. They like to chill because they have energy. They like the vibe. So if it was in the city itself, you would have seen, I think Kasi Vibe, they would have given it a new name by today, because that was going to be fully attended by young people coming from Havana, coming from elsewhere in Windhoek. Now, you cannot come from Havana to, Blackwater. That is difficult. It's a challenge in terms of mobility. I see there is no one calling. Let me take a short breather. Okay, there is somebody. Yes.
Yes, Tate France.
Yes.
Good morning, my brother.
Morning.
Can I please Kanjengo's number, please?
I'm not allowed to give numbers of. We are not allowed to give people's numbers.
Oh, please, my brother, man. I have a project which I wanted to.
The only number that is allowed to be given is mine.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not anybody, unless maybe if he's listening, you can leave your number, then he'll call you.
Oh, okay. 0811 27
Yeah.
93
23
23
0811 27 93 23.
Master Utoni.
Mr. Utoni.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Right. All right. So Mr. Utoni has left a number. Kanjengo, you can contact him. His number is 0811279323. 0811279323. You can contact him. The only number that is allowed here is mine. Mine is the one that can be given on air by anyone. But any other anchor, we are not allowed to give their numbers unless they do it themselves. Yes. But anyone is allowed to give my number on air to anyone. That's the only number that is allowed to be given on air. So, all right, we'll take a short breather and then I'll come and say my goodbyes before handing over to the Northern Studio. Kalunoka tutu ke pena noka khwadika mbapila opa udidirike.
Yo sina ngondo ni fendera yo mbonu ngosho. Yo upo mono ngondo chamo ne komafe o mbabie kaya no yo. Moshimaro amo oshimaro shumbira ashi ke pangelo ashi penya no. Mona de sina na ngero pa no kweli fanga ndesi mo program pa.
Ifendera yegumbo komvura nengo kandingo shokomvura nzono hayi kombelewa nzoni ifendera tofendere shashitorongi fehara pehajerero yehara omo ashikerero talivuro kumono okathiringa ukwatera mombelewa kukwatera pombelewa njia shosho imaliwa mzono ohayi ukirira kombelewa oshirongo
kana nokwendera pamwe no programa kusamosha onemba eshivo kumanda afyo titano okuja palongongula fyo petata lonlongo nambali.
My friend, why do you seem so worried?
Ace, I'm planning an event for next weekend, and I don't know how to best get people to hear about it.
Saima, don't worry about those small things. Contact Eagle FM today. Eagle FM has a dedicated team that can travel anywhere countrywide to broadcast live at any event, such as a promotion, organizational launch, anniversary, wedding, funeral, political or traditional and church events, and basically any event that you wish to broadcast on a national level. Call them now and talk to Monica at 081-270-3727 or the office number 083-288-400. Eagle FM, the eye.
All right. It's 2.5 minutes before the hour of 9 o'clock. And 9 o'clock, I'm going to say my goodbyes. And then, of course, the show from the north will take over from me. And we'll meet again tomorrow morning by 6 o'clock. We'll meet and then we'll have a conversation. I'm going to make sure that we have we have a lot of we have a conversation. In fact, we're looking at Africa, Namibia, and intercontinental, local, and interlocal stories. We are going to talk about that. We're going to have a diversified conversation on this one, just to have some analysis. So please stay tuned.
My friend, why do you seem so worried?
And
Ace,
let me say my goodbyes. And let's meet again tomorrow morning at the same time. Having said that, it's a goodbye from me. Let me hand over to Nalvanda in the north. He's already on. Stay tuned.
Or traditional and church events, and Basically, any event that you wish to broadcast on a national level. Call them now and talk to Monica at 081-270-3727 or the office number 083-2888-400. Eagle FM, the eye.
No matter where you are, if you have a mobile device, you can tune into Namibia's #1 talk radio station by downloading the Eagle FM app on the Google Play Store or on the Apple